It's The Drive on The Fan.
Hey, it is a Monday, fun day. Greetings, salutations, and good morning, sports fans. It is The Drive, and glad to have you in here. It's a fresh week. It's a big sports week, and we are locked in, ready to go. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, Tara Atkin, and we are The Drive Morning Show crew, and let's get right to it. We haven't done this for a while. It's time to review the weekend and see who's partying in Paul's penthouse and who's hanging out in Double D's doghouse.
All right, let's see who's going up there today. Me and Tara both got some submissions for the penthouse. And let's start with Game 3 back in Las Vegas. And we're going to go pregame here. As when all the players were being introduced, there was one that was very notable. One guy that took an 87-mile-per-hour slap shot to the face and was back the very next game. That is the longest tenured Golden Knight with the most games played for the team. That is Mr. Braden McNabb. And this was what it sounded like when he was introduced on the PA for Game 3. A giant crowd pop from the faithful there, and
Yeah,
yeah, you were gonna throw in a couple of cheers for him too if you were there, and so
he played nails, man.
He did.
He played nails. He deserves
time on ice, 35 minutes and 47 seconds. He laid some hits. He made some key passes. He was a nice.
Think about that. Think about that. If you've ever had a broken nose and you ever if you've ever just got punched in the face before.
Yeah.
Think about that one time you and your buddy got in a fight and he just socked you.
Yeah.
And you know how it feels.
Yes.
87-mile-an-hour puck, had to redo his grill, busted up nose, and he's out there with a full mask. And every time you take a hit, you feel it, and your body moves, and that had to be painful. Now, I don't know if he was, playing with some prescription drugs to ease the pain or not. I don't care. He was a soldier. 100% Braden McNabb should be in the penthouse.
That's right. Hannah Kirkwell, who is the beat writer for the Hockey News Network, interviewed him after
Good old
the
Hannah. She made the show today.
That's right. She made it. I want to give her credit here, as she got a quote with him after. He said he estimates upwards of 30 stitches. And he said it's just part of hockey. It's the way it goes sometimes. It's unfortunate, but you have to get through it and be back out there. So that's the ultimate team mentality. His teammates said as much. Eichel said he's one of the most selfless people he knows. I mean, this was a huge, because again, you're rolling out, you're playing Coughlin more, you're playing Lazan more if Braden McNabb can't go. So this is a huge thing for him to have him back, and I think he was a big piece of the win.
He's a beast. So
he belongs in the penthouse along with, and I promise you this will be the last time until they win the national title, okay? This was the scene in Morgantown as the Mountaineers capture their first ever super regional title. This is 7,305 people doing one of the greatest college traditions that there ever was, singing country roads after a big W. Love to see it. They are going to be storming to Omaha. They're calling them the Omaneers, baby, as the first trip ever. I'm real excited for it. So they belong in the penthouse as well.
This is a cool tradition.
It is.
This is a cool tradition, and we will crank this. We will turn John Denver up in the penthouse, and we will crank it for the ears.
Yes,
the Lumineers. Wannabe Lumineers.
No wannabe Lumineers. It's gonna be the national champions, baby.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'm moving back down to the doghouse with Devin.
Yeah. Tara, you got anybody you're inviting up?
She doesn't even want to be up anymore. She wants to go to be in your doghouse.
Go to your doghouse. Is there a sleeping bag I can use? But I watched the Mississippi State Georgia Bulldogs Super Regional game, Game 2, yesterday. And even though Mississippi State lost, I have to put Ace Reese Noah Sullivan, and then the freshman Jacob Parker in the penthouse because they went back to back home runs to bring them back within one run. So they were down 4. It was 8-4 at the bottom of the 7th, and they brought it back up to 7-8 and eventually lost. But
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. All right. The doghouse. Couple people going to be with Fido out in the backyard. Hopefully it's not raining. Starting with the New York PD is canceling the watch party. The get-in price is about $4,500 to go to Madison Square.
Yeah.
They haven't had a playoff finals game since 1999, June of 1990. It's been 27 years.
Yeah.
And because President Trump is there, and because I think they think it's going to be just a disaster for NYPD, they are canceling the outside watch party at Madison Square Garden tonight. Boo!
Yeah, that's not cool. No.
Come on. Not every Joe out there can get in and pay the $4,500. A lot of people cannot afford to pay the $45,000. You want to take your son to an NBA playoff finals game. Your 12-year-old son, it's going to cost you over $9,000 for you and your son or your daughter to go and watch a game and make some memories.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the average Joe cannot do that, but anybody could have went outside and watched it and been part of the melee and the fandom and watched it outside Madison Square Garden. But the decision, less than 24 hours before the game, they're not going to do it. The permit for the Plaza Game 3 watch party was denied by the city's permitting office in consultation with the NYPD. However, the White House will confirm that this is not about the president. This is a New York Police Department and a city permitting deal? Wow.
Yeah.
Boo!
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's not cool.
No.
But come on, you're a fan of the Knicks and you can't afford the ticket and you want to be outside watching it with other Knicks fans.
Yeah.
And you can't?
Josh Hart feels the pain of the Knicks fans.
Come on.
He was at the podium talking about the prices of the tickets, and this is what he had to say. A pretty candid talk here and kind of saying how the average person just can't get into this game. Kind of sad.
I kind of wish the ticket prices weren't as crazy as they are. I feel like a lot of people who are been waiting for this moment for a very long time, unfortunately aren't able to get into the building with the cheapest ticket, $7,000-8,000. So that's ridiculous. But it should still be rocking. But obviously, we wish those were a little cheaper.
I think I agree with the sentiment. There's a lot of Knicks fans, diehards out there that have been following the team for 50, 60, years and probably not priced out of this game. So.
Josh Hart, smart comment there for Knicks fans. They love him for that. So everybody that heard that, they can't get in like, Josh, thank you, rich guy, for empathizing with us. And by the way, great game 1. You played bad enough game 2. You could be in the doghouse in game 2. I mean, the Knicks won, but he had one of a rough finals game. Foul trouble, didn't even make a field goal.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, the Knicks bench picked up the slack.
Guys like Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride and a lot of Alvarado playing big minutes thus far this series.
Yeah, I mean, if the Knicks lose, Jalen Brunson could be in the doghouse too. He shot 7 for 25 in game 2.
What do you have, 20 points?
Yeah, but he did redeem himself with a huge late steal, but his shooting efficiency is far below his normal standard, and yet they're up 2 games to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one other player in there. I'm going to throw Frederick Anderson in there for the second period. After entering the Stanley Cup as one of the Conn Smythe favorites, he watched the series swing dramatically as Vegas won Saturday night in double overtime. And he got yanked after he gave up 4 goals that counted in the second period.
Yeah.
Yes.
That counted.
That counted. There was a couple reversed.
Yeah.
So bad weekend for Frederick Anderson. And now who's going to start in goalie tomorrow night for Game 4 in Las Vegas? That is a question we will try to answer when Dan Duva joins us on the show a little bit later. But the player who probably had the worst weekend in sports, probably sleep the last, is probably Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're the face of the NBA, you lose both home games, you shoot poorly, You're a focal point of every adjustment discussion. Who had a worse weekend than Victor Wembanyama? I mean, maybe UCLA baseball when they exited before the Super Regionals. Maybe just the Spurs fan base had a bad weekend. You're not thinking you're going down 0-2 going back to New York City.
Yeah.
And you missed the game winner, and prior to that, he had a bad turnover.
Yeah. He did have a bad turnover. The game winner, that sometimes you miss shots, but the pass is something you can control. You can't control the ball going into the basket, but you can make sure your guy's ready for that pass. And that's what I would argue. He didn't wait for Castle to turn.
I would argue there's not much of a difference on which one's worse. They both suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you turn it over or you miss a shot. It's empty. It's two empty possessions.
A pass is way more controllable than the randomness of a shot.
I know. The only thing I would say about the pass, if you saw the outlet, Castle kind of did a wheel spin away from him. Mm-hmm. And I think for a moment, Wemby thought he had the outlet, and then Castle turned his back to him. That's miscommunication. Sure, it's going to go on Wemby. Sure, Wemby could have took a couple dribbles, made sure he had a better pass.
Yeah, there was plenty of time.
It's on Wemby, but Castle didn't help the situation. He could have stayed with his head back to Wemby a little longer while running. I mean, his neck works.
Yeah, maybe. Castle played a bad game overall. He really didn't have the greatest of games. So, and he was dealing with injury. They put him in at the end. They took him out for a long stretch there, then re-entered him into the game in the final couple minutes. And, he ended with 14 points. So not his greatest game. And I'm sure he would have deflected the blame on Wemby and said, hey, I should have been more willing and ready for that pass. And, it's kind of a 50-50 who's the blame game. But at the end of the day, Wemby threw the pass. So, that's where I kind of stay on that one.
The other doghouse submission, if you want to throw a bonus ball in there, we are with Fido. USC Trojan baseball, 1 out away from Omaha.
They got walked off.
They blow the late lead against North Carolina in the winner-take-all Super Regional. That kind of loss can stick with the program. That's cool for North Carolina.
It's cool for UNC. Yeah. I think I got the video of that, actually.
I'm talking about USC, not UNC. I'm talking about the Trojans.
Yeah, UNC.
The doghouse.
That's right. UNC wins by walking off USC.
Correct.
Right? That's right. We got the video here. And this is a good call. I know I was kind of criticizing the call on that game a week ago, but this was a good call.
I haven't heard you criticize any calls in the Mountaineers game.
They've been doing a good
phenomenon.
Funny. Well, when you're winning 16-1, there isn't much drama.
There's no drama.
Yeah. All right, this is
second, bottom 9, the pitch. Hall swings and drives one deep to center field. Takeuchi going back, and he can't get there. North Carolina is going back to Omaha.
You can get a little voice crack in there.
Yeah. Why did he dive feet first? Like, for that, he needed to dive head first to catch it. I don't know what in the heck he was thinking there. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but why does he dive like this?
Takeuchi going back.
Yeah, that is a weird dive.
What is he doing?
I think he knew he couldn't get to it.
Wow.
So he just tried to make it look cool.
Yeah, I guess. Didn't look cool.
No,
it didn't look cool. It looked kind of harmless, like a weird attempt at that ball.
It's like he didn't even try.
Yeah.
But UNC on to to Omaha.
Yes.
And joining the Mountaineers and others. So we can't wait.
All right, we are off and running. Penthouse Doghouse brought to you today by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Coral Canyon Golf Course, of course, going to be popping this weekend, home to our Finley Subaru 22nd Annual Utah State Long Drive Championships. Qualifying will start this Friday at 3 o'clock. It's going to be temperatures calling for high 90s. Not too bad out there on a Saturday afternoon. I think 96, 97 is the forecast when I looked over the weekend.
Nice.
We're going to be out there hitting bombs. I'm hoping the wind stays nice. I was hoping it was windy this weekend, so maybe it won't be next weekend. Yeah. Or if we do get a wind, it's not a face wind.
Right.
It's not a southwest wind. At number 10 is where we do the long drive. It's walk-up registration. You don't have to pre-register for the long drive. We have 10 divisions. You come up to the registration table. We got big shaded check-in tent. right on the tee box at number 10. You get in the batting order. You tell us, we got a lot of people that hit in multiple divisions. You can too. We can help explain that to you. When you sign up for the long drive, you also get one hole-in-one qualifying shot for the $250,000 shootout presented by Roberts Insurance, as well as one entry into the We Win Injury Law putting contest, chance to win $5,000.
Yeah.
Cash if you can sink 3 putts in a row on Saturday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be out there with the last chance qualifying. Only 2 hours of qualifying on Saturday from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then the Saturday night finals. So you got to come between 3 and 9. And you really got to get there before 8 o'clock to make sure you get on the tee on Friday night, because we'll stop qualifying. In the registration table will close just prior to 8 o'clock. So make sure you get there before that happens to make sure we can get finished with qualifying before dark. And then Saturday from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. If you don't get into the finals Friday night, you want to come back out Saturday afternoon. That's our last chance qualifying. A shorter window there, just 2 hour window. We do that second time in case somebody's got it stuck at work or can't make it out Friday night, but they can come Saturday. So you have those 2 qualifying windows. Sandwiched in between that, we have our 18-hole Fieldstone Homes Scramble, 4-man scramble, 7 a.m. shotgun, Saturday morning. We still have room for, I think, 3 teams before we cap it, 3 or 4 teams. So if there's any late minute, we can take maybe 8, 12 more players. This week. If you want to get signed up, you can call it to the golf course at Coral Canyon. We'll see you there. All the details are on our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. The other big announcement, and we'll be talking about this in Reading Clue 1 just around 8 a.m. this morning. Today is the main rock number 1. This is, they did the mini rocks to kind of warm you up, where they gave away $500 or $1,000 if you're wearing an official Summit Rock t-shirt, which you can still get those at the 3 Southern Utah Summit Athletic Club locations. Those also get you in for a free workout the rest of the month in June. You wear your shirt, you can work out for free. But today, if you're wearing the shirt, you find the rock. Last year, the main rock number 1 got found on the very first clue. So with between 8 and 9 a.m., because we release a clue every hour, that rock got found last year. So get ready. They posted it at 7 a.m. at the Summit Athletic Club locations. So if you swing over there, you can take a picture of the clue, you can read the clue, and you can get out and get started. If you want to wait a little bit, or you can't quite get out and start hunting till 8 o'clock, we will read the clue. Some of our other stations will be as well. We'll be posting them all over our social media. Make sure you go like us at the Fan SN. That's at the Fan SN on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.com/the Fan Sports Network. We are live in the Findlay Hyundai Studios, off and running. When we come back, it's a Monday. Only on a Monday do we do big deal, no big deal. It's next. Don't touch that dial. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is the Drive Show today, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health, where you can get a free testosterone test Monday morning if you're feeling really tired this morning, run down from the weekend. Could be low T if you're over 40, 45, 50, or older. You need to know what your T levels are. Get your free testosterone test at Game Day Men's Health. You get results in 15 minutes, and it's FREE free. And if you're clinically low, you decide to get on testosterone as little as $50 a week. So go and book your appointment today at Game Day Men's Health. To reclaim your game, call or text. Here's the number. Get your phone handy. Put in your memory bank. You can text them. You can call them. If they don't answer, leave a message. They'll get back to you. 435-265-4223. Might not be in yet this morning, 7:23 in the a.m., so maybe shoot them a text. 435-265-4223. Only on a Monday. Let's go. I care. I care. Nobody cares if it's a big deal or not, except if you're listening to Sports Talk Radio this morning, and hopefully you care too. We've got 5 or 6 of these. We're going to kind of spread it around a variety of topics. We'll tell you if we think it's a big deal or not from the weekend.
All right, let's start with none other than the most important player on the Knights roster as of now and going into these playoffs. He was a good player during the regular season, but Mitch Marner continues his historic run in the playoffs, captures his second hat trick in the Knights Game 3 win. The natural hat trick was the fastest recorded in Stanley Cup final history in just 6 minutes and 10 seconds between the first and third goal.
Yep. Yeah, big deal. Big deal for emphasis. Let me yell that for you. Not because it's just a hat trick.
Yes.
Because it's a Stanley Cup hat trick with the series tied 1-1. And when the lights are bright and you're Mitch Marner, it has not been a rosy career, and this playoff has changed the mantra around him. And a hat trick can completely change the series. When you get hot like Mitch did, and he could have had 4, maybe even 5 goals in this game.
He had the penalty shot and got
the penalty
stuck.
shot. Yeah, he tried to maybe over-geek him too many times and then tried to lift it and just ran out of real estate there. But you grab the spotlight, you grab the lead back in the Conn Smythe because it was narrowing the gap. I mean, you had seen a couple of guys, you know, especially Brett Howden after his performance on the road, get into the mix a little bit closer, and he had 3 goals in the first 2 games of the series, and then Mitch has 3 goals in game 3, and Graham's a commanding lead back, and guys like Anderson, who gets benched, is probably out of the Conn Smythe conversation now.
Got the live odds.
Jack Eichel is probably losing ground immensely right now, even though he's been fine and productive in other ways other than scoring. The what are the odds? Mitch back to minus 200?
205 right now. Yeah. And the next 3 contenders are not Knights. It's Taylor Hall plus 475, Stankoven plus 650, and Jackson Blake plus 1500.
Yeah, you're banking on Carolina winning the series.
That's right. Yeah, and Eichel is the next night at plus 7,500.
Which is crazy because Howden leads the league in playoff goals.
Yeah.
How is he not above
He's 75
Eichel?
to 1 as well. He's tied with Eichel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if Howden goes and gets a hattie next game, that's a good bet.
Yeah.
Because it would take a lot. It would take a hat trick the other way for Howden or Taylor Hall or somebody else to take it away from Mitch Marner at this point in time. Because, look, for years, critics have questioned whether Mitch Marner could dominate on hockey's playoff stage. And when you get a hat trick in the Stanley Cup final, people take notice. And it's hat tricks are rare in the Stanley Cup finals. It's a crucial Game 3 victory. It's shifted the Conn Smythe race. It puts enormous pressure on Carolina in tomorrow's Game 4. It's a 5 out of 5 on the big deal meter.
Yeah, and the span of just over, this was from Gino Hard, one of my favorite hockey accounts. In the span of over just 6 minutes, Mitch Marner matched the highest goal total from any playoff run with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs fans are not having a good time right now. 3 goals for him was the highest in the 2023 playoffs, and he scored that in 6 minutes. So,
I mean, I can be critical. He probably should have had 4 goals. He probably should have scored the penalty shot on the breakaway where they fouled him from the backside, and he probably could have had another one at one point in the game. Like, it could have been one of those career-defining games, and yet it's still a huge game, and you get the win. Hate to think, and I think I sent this text, how the Knights would respond if they would have lost that game.
Yeah. Oh, man.
How you recover from that one at home in Game 3 with a hattie and you don't win it. So that was a huge overtime win on an own goal, basically, late in the game. If you stayed up late Saturday night, this was a never-ending game. Went all the way into double overtime, halfway through double overtime. Finally, that one ended. Nice! Come out on top. All right, where are we going next?
you want to chime in on that or no?
Yeah, it was a big win, like you said, even with the hat trick, but to blow a 4-0 lead.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
It was.
And they scored, like Carolina came back out and scored 3 goals in like the fastest time ever, too, wasn't it? How long was it?
I think it was less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like 2:27 or something
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
And I got to bring that up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if they would have lost that game, like, at least they redeemed themselves. But that third period was so bad.
A lot of people were tweeting out, don't ruin Marner's legacy game by losing, stuff like that. And those thoughts were out there. That first overtime, Carolina had the better looks. I mean, I know they didn't score and Carter Hart stood tall, but Carolina was firing in that first overtime.
I mean, Wild Bill had a good look.
He did.
I mean, it's not like the Knights didn't have any looks, but I would agree with you that
They
first
tilted the
overtime,
ice.
There was a couple times I got out of my seat, and I was every time they would throw one on net, I was getting like nervous because all of a sudden, one blink of an eye, one mistake, it's over.
Yeah.
And you're down 2-1, and you've lost back that split you got in Carolina. And now they're right where, I mentioned your boy TJ Oshie.
Yeah.
After game 1,
Does
the
a
Knights
great job.
stole it. He's just like, look, the mindset now for Vegas is you got to be up 3-1, and they found a way to put themselves into that position. We get an off day yesterday, an off day today. Probably comes in handy for a lot of these Stanley Cup players.
Yeah,
because that was a draining double overtime game. Guys like Brett Howard. I was listening to Shea Theodore's post game.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to go home. The reporter's like, okay, we'll let you go.
Cut this short?
Yeah, he did not want to sit there and do like question 4 and 5 after a double overtime game because the Knights have been down this road before. Yes, you're up 2-1, but they have taken every punch that they have thrown, and Carolina's punched back. I mean, as good as their second period was, the third was just as bad. That's the mark of 2 really good teams that can make another team look bad. Carolina is not going away.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going 6 minimum, and it feels like it could go 7.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what Gary Bettman in the NHL wants.
Right.
And I'm sure that's what Carolina fans especially want. Knights would be fine with it ending in 6 right now on home ice.
That's right.
So we'll see. We'll see. Up 2-1 going into tomorrow. That place is going to be rocking. Cannot wait.
All right, let's go to the next one here in the horse racing realm. Golden Tempo, winner of the Kentucky Derby, sits out the Preakness, foregoing the Triple Crown, but comes back and wins at the Belmont. Big deal, no big deal. The Golden Tempo winning 2 of the 3 in the Triple Crown.
Why did you sit out?
Exactly.
Why did you sit out?
That's my point.
I think it's money.
Win,
I think it's because of the money.
It is. I mean,
because they're back-to-back-to-back races. So he won $3.1 million with the Kentucky Derby.
Nice
he
payday.
could have gone. Yeah, he could have gone and done the Preakness, but they're exhausted.
But
so save them.
It validated that the Derby wasn't a fluke. Is the long shot?
Right.
It validated that the Derby that this is.
But is 2 out of 3 a big deal, or
that's
is it
that's why I asked the question. Why'd you sit out? Because it's so rare to go for the Triple Crown. You get one shot with these 2-year-olds. You don't get to run them again next year to try to go for the Triple Crown next year. They're going to be studding out some barn back east, just making tons of money for their owner, having a good old time.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Look, it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal.
Yeah,
you win 2 of the. You win 2 of the 3 Triple Crown races. You silenced the critics that you were fluky in the Derby win.
That's true.
You beat the Belmont favorite, despite going off at 6-1 odds.
Yep.
And you have created one of the biggest horse racing stories in 2026. So it's still a big deal, but it's not as big a deal if you would have run for the Triple Crown.
I agree
Right.
with that. I'm
That's
going to
the
go no
caveat.
big deal here.
Really?
Yes.
You're
I
not
think,
a horse guy. You don't
I think if
understand how
win
big winning 2 or 3
You win
is.
the Kentucky Derby, the quest should be the Triple Crown every time. I don't feel you shouldn't sit out. If you lose the Preakness, then sit out the Belmont or whatever. But if it's alive, the chance to win the Triple Crown, which hasn't been done in horse racing very much, is alive, then run the race. I know there's fatigue, there's
53 horses have won 2 legs of the Triple Crown.
Yeah, so for that.
And then you trim it to only 13 that have won the Triple Crown.
And that's where it goes from somewhat big deal to big deal. Like when you win 2, it's a somewhat big deal. You win the Triple Crown, it's a huge deal. So I don't know. I kind of split on this one. Tara?
12
Okay,
horses.
but if you lose the Preakness and sit out the Belmont, you just annihilated your chances of winning 2 out of the 3.
That's true.
So as a fan, I understand you want to see that Triple Crown winner. Like every fan wants that. But as an owner,
Yeah,
you're looking at the dollar signs, and that's like the smarter move.
that's true. So
Only-
would you go big deal or no big deal?
It's a big deal. He won
go
2
big
out
deal.
of 3.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think it's a big deal.
Golden Temple is in rare company, only the 13th horse now to win the Derby and the Belmont. So when you look at it like that, getting 2 legs, but 53 have won 2 combinations total.
Yeah.
I mean, think about there's 3 big races every year for over 100
Yeah.
years. I mean, it happens. 2 out of 3 happens. You get these horses that are absolutely dialed in. Now first female trainer to win 2 or 3.
That's a big
new,
deal.
That is
Yeah.
a new fact. So that adds into the lore of Golden
The
Tempo.
jockey, too, isn't he a lot older? And
Yeah.
so that's a big deal for him.
Yeah, and his
so it's
brother
kind of a
and
cool
him went
story.
1-2. I didn't see where his brother ran if he jockeyed a horse in the Belmont, but I didn't. But I will admit, Golden Tempo Inn brought more eyeballs onto this race than the Preakness, where he didn't run.
Right.
And I think there was a little bit more of a, in the horse racing community, there's some loyal horse racing enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I still lean big deal. I disagree with Paul.
All
I
right.
disagree with Paul.
Well, let's hear how it sounded. Maybe that'll change my opinion on it because we've got the final stretch here from the Belmont as Golden Tempo takes down the title.
Tempo is coming along with Commandment as the field turns for home. On the inside, Growth Equity is just in front. Chief Wallaby comes to him. Out in the center of the racetrack, Commandment's running a giant race. Renegade in between and Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo, Renegade, Commandment on the outside.
Look at this
Golden
final
Tempo from
stretch.
last to
Wow.
first
Taken
has to fend
off.
Commandment in the final strides. Golden Tempo.
Another gear
pulls
there.
away.
Yeah.
Golden Tempo.
Another
won the
year.
Belmont
come
Stakes.
on. I'm getting goosebumps.
Maybe I changed
That
my
was
opinion.
crazy. Yeah.
Seeing that final stretch
That was
there.
some Seabiscuit stuff right there. Some Secretariat coming from behind. and
That's
then, like you
right.
said, finding that final gear. And
running in the pack and then shooting out of the pack. I like to see it. All right, let's go to the next one.
How much money did Golden Tempo make this year? Was it 4.3?
4.3, yes.
4 point. So you got 3.1 from the Derby.
And then 1.2.
1.2 from the Belmont.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the winner's share.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. A little
Okay.
payday. All right, let's go to the next one here. Denny Hamlin surges to the finish line to win the Firekeepers Casino 400, marking his 3rd win of the season after reportedly mulling retirement over the offseason. I know he said that he's going to wait a couple years now, but he was definitely having those thoughts of calling it quits. So big deal, no big deal. Denny Hamlin putting together maybe the best season of any NASCAR driver at his age.
Paulie. You didn't watch this race.
I did.
This is a big deal. Do you know where Denny Hamlin started?
No. The pole?
No, he started at the rear of the field after his team made repairs following practice where he damaged his car. Then he drives all the way to the front to win the Firekeepers Casino 400.
Yes.
Okay, there were some crazy wrecks, though. Like Reddick completely wrecked his car, was out.
Yeah.
Zane Smith at the very end wrecked his car with like 54 laps left.
And Zane's a friend of the show.
Yeah, we love him.
And look, I know you guys were texting the thread, and normally I'm all in, but I was golfing, and
Yeah.
I went home and watched this after, so I didn't want it to spoil it. I didn't want to know who
well,
won.
at least I didn't spoil it. I said Zane wrecked.
I know, and it's okay. You didn't tell me who won or
I
anything.
didn't. No,
so
she did.
because if I know the outcome, then I'll just go watch the highlights. So
Yeah.
I was dodging the questions while I was trying to, make one birdie and 18 holes of golf in the wind. But yeah, like Paul, you mentioned third Cup Series win of 2026.
Yeah.
The win now ties him with the late Kyle Busch for ninth place on NASCAR's all-time win list with 63 career Cup victories. Strong field, and when you went from the back of the pack, that's some Ricky Bobby stuff. This victory now gets him closer to Tyler Reddick in the championship standings because Reddick didn't get a lot of points. I think he ended up with 12 points is all for, I think, leading the stage. So, and where he qualified, I mean, they went back to the old school qualifying.
I don't think he led a stage. He wrecked in that first stage.
Yeah, I don't know. He got 12 points. I was looking at the standings. I don't know where he got the points from.
Okay.
Maybe where he qualified at. I don't know. They've changed it all back to how it used to be, which I think most of the drivers are pretty excited about. But yeah, I mean, Denny Hamlin, he's having a renaissance of, like, it's back like he's in his heyday again, and he's 42, 43 years old.
Yeah.
He's almost, maybe he's even closer to 44 or 45.
He was born in 1980.
Yeah.
So yeah,
46?
he's 46.
46?
45 or 46.
That's native of Chesterfield, Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. And again, double dipping, owner winnings and driver winnings.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Jordan doesn't mind. How about the year Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's race team is having?
That's a pretty good year for him.
Reddick and Hamlin are on fire.
Yeah.
Reddick early, and now Denny's coming along in the summer. It's like those two teams have just switched who's hot. It's crazy how good that team is. Rolling the Toyotas.
Yeah.
All right. One more?
One more?
Oh, yeah, that's me. I got to do this.
I
was staring at
I got one.
No, I got one here. The New York Knicks storm into San Antonio and take two from the Spurs to go back to NYC with a commanding 2-0 lead in the series. As Tara mentioned earlier, no team that's fallen behind 0-2 at home has ever come back to win the series, being the Spurs. Big deal, no big deal. The Knicks looking for the jugular tonight, I think, going up 3-0.
I mean, it's the NBA
2.5 point favorite.
It's the NBA.
Knicks.
It's the NBA Finals. That place is going to be nuts.
Yep.
Like, I don't care that it's 2-0, other than the pressure is clearly on the shoulders of Wemby and the Spurs after not winning one game at home. You lose this game, and the brooms are probably out.
Yes.
And it's over in 4, which is really disappointing because I thought this series would go a little bit longer than 4. But that's a reality. And so tonight, I'm really interested to see how the Spurs and Wembanyama respond after 2 heartbreaking losses.
Yeah.
Where they blew the lead, and then the Knicks blew the lead and let him back in it. I mean, De'Aaron Smith got hot. Wemby came a little bit alive there down the stretch, and the Knicks couldn't hit a bucket down the stretch in the fourth quarter and let him back into it, and then you blow it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to lean big deal because the pressure is clearly on the San Antonio Spurs. It's going to be a fever pitch in New York. The historic confines of Madison Square Garden are going to be absolutely rocking. I want to see the decibel meter all night long.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like star shots and celebrity shots and cameos, like if you got sick of Taylor Swift during the NFL playoffs, then you might not want to watch tonight's game.
Yeah, probably Spike Lee and Ben Stiller are going to be shown quite a bit tonight.
So. Bonus ball. Big deal or no big deal, the Bears could maybe move to Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, I saw this over the weekend.
And become now the home of 2 NFL franchises, with the Bears joining Indianapolis in the same state.
Yeah. I don't think this is a massive deal because the Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. The Redskins, Commanders, whatever, play in Maryland. A lot of teams don't play in the exact city that their team is originated out of. So
Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City, the Chiefs don't play. Yeah, exactly. So
they're moving.
And they're moving as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams that don't play in their state that their team originates from. So, even though the Bears fans are upset about this, everyone wants them to be in Chicago. I understand that, but the land is cheaper in Indiana or whatever. So, they're going to do what's best for the ownership.
Yeah.
They don't care about the fans sometimes. And when the dollar signs are big, they go to Indiana.
It's a 33-mile drive down the I-94 East Freeway from the Great Lakes to the Windy City of downtown Chicago to Hammond, Indiana.
Yes.
It's gonna take you, with traffic on a game day, I mean, an 8-hour walk. If you want to bike it, it'd take you 2 hours. You know, if you take a train or a bus, you're looking at like 30 minutes probably. I don't know what the commute would be on a game day, maybe an hour.
And sometimes the teams do this to instill a little fear in Chicago. Make their bid come down. We're going to move.
Yep.
So bring your price down or we're actually gone, you know? So I think that it's not over for Chicago yet and the Bears. I think that this is kind of a scare tactic by the organization to make the price come down a little bit.
Good stuff. 7:42 on a Monday morning here on the Fan Sports Network from the Findlay Hyundai Studios. They got gas-saving cars like the Sonata or the Launcher get up to 58 mpg. Go check it out. Great incentives as low as 0.9% interest. They've got bonus cash on select models. Go check them out this month at Findlay Hyundai off exit 13 at their new home out there next to, what is there? There's a Black Bear Diner. There's a Culver's. There's a Maverick.
Yeah, they got a Chipotle
Exit
out there
13 is kind of the hot new exit.
Yeah.
There's the Sienna Hills Auto Mall, and they're the first dealership. They've been over a year.
Yeah.
If you haven't been out
Great
there, go
facility.
check it out. We're back in a flash. It's The Drive on a Monday fun day morning. Don't go away. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside the Drive, Finley Hyundai Studios. Devin, Paulie, Tara, hanging out with you on a Monday morning. We love our Mondays. We've got through Big Deal, No Big Deal. Good addition on a Monday morning. Also, Penthouse, Doghouse, and here we are wrapping up hour number one. Dan Duva will join us 8:30 second hour. Voice of the Vegas Golden Knights since day one. Dan Duva. Love listening to Dan. Big fan of Dan Duva. I'm curious to see, behind the scenes now as he's calling his third Stanley Cup final.
Right.
All with the VGK. If he's a little less nervous than the first go around the inaugural season. Knights and Canes right now trending to be potentially, it's just 3 games, but through 3 games, probably the greatest Stanley Cup final of all time so far.
It's been intense.
I don't know that you can really argue that. Now, there's some other, we've seen a lot of 2-1 series. We've seen a lot of close games. But the way that this has played out, every game has been electric. It hasn't been over till it's over. And then it was capped by a double overtime game the other night. Right. Like, I don't know what else you could ask for if you're a fan of hockey and you don't have a dog in the fight, or if you're a fan of, as a Knights fan, I was sitting on my hands, and I was a nervous wreck in overtime and double overtime, and just hoping that they did not blow that lead, and they tried to blow it. Yeah. And so we got a lot to talk about with Dan Duva when he drops by at 8:30. Who knows what Paulie will ask him?
Yeah.
Probably something about how tough Howden is. Probably ask him about the Conn Smythe and what he sees. Lots to get to. Yeah. Canes, what they could do at goalie, in Dan's opinion, all these things. So tons. We're an off day today. No Stanley Cup today. They'll be back at the Fortress tomorrow night. And can't wait. Can't wait to be down in that building. Oh, my goodness. Going to be absolutely lit at T-Mobile Arena for Game 4. Me and a couple of the fellas going to go down and play a round of golf, and then hit up the game, and cannot wait. I just am salivating at the thought. I haven't been to an NBA Finals. I've never been to a Super Bowl, even though my Seahawks have played in 3 Super Bowls. I've never and have 2 championships. They played in a bunch of Super Bowls, actually 4. Lost to the Patriots, lost to the Steelers in the 2 losses, and then of course beat Denver. And then this year we saw them beat the Patriots, which was sweet redemption. But I have been to a Stanley Cup Finals game before, and that was that inaugural season. Paulie, you went down. Did you go down with us? You weren't here. You weren't in town yet, or you didn't go down?
I didn't go down.
You didn't go down.
It was a loss for you guys. The one you went to.
Yeah. I think I went to game
2. I think
it was a game 2.
It was.
Sheesh, you got a better memory than me.
I remember that series from start to finish.
Yeah, I've put it in the trash bin. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. So we're looking forward to that coming up next hour. The other thing that's going on this weekend is our Utah State Long Drive Championship. Want to remind everybody, this is our 22nd year getting out to Coral Canyon Golf Course and letting people grip it and rip it. 10 divisions. So we have junior division. So if you're a parent and you have a son or daughter, you want to, just let them have some fun, get them on the tee. For JAG members, for T-Box members, anybody else that's, you got a youth golfer that's playing locally, we're doing 50% off for the junior divisions. So if you come out to the T-Box, instead of paying $20 for your 14-year-old to hit in the 14 and under division, you'll pay just $10. They'll get 6 long drive balls. They'll get entry into the putty and the closest 2. Our junior divisions are 14 and under boys and girls, and then we have a 17 and under boys and girls.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a men's amateur, which if you've ever cashed in a long drive event in the last 7 years, you cannot compete in an amateur. You're considered, you got to play in the open, the pro division. The amateurs, so you're just a golfer, you just like to get out and play, but you can hit it 350 off the tee, 360, whatever the case might be. Maybe you're a bit longer than that. I want to see you if you are. Come on out. You can actually compete in the men's local amateur and the open division. Okay, so the amateur division we started about 6 or 7 years ago. We used to get a lot of guys that would come from the World Long Drive, and they'd use our event as kind of another, event, tune up. There would be a lot of times where they would, we just want reps or getting started in the sport, and ours is a local one. We used to be a first stage and a second stage qualifying site for the old Remax World Long Drive. Not anymore. We're just a fun local event where you can come out and see how far you can hit a golf ball. And then we got our senior divisions, 40-plus men, 50-plus men, 60-plus men. And then if you want to come out in the women's division, bring your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, your auntie that pounds it. I don't care. Tara needs some competition.
Yeah, I do.
Last year we had 4 women compete. I think it was 4, 3 or 4.
I think 40, and I took third.
Yeah. Well, so we always need more.
That's right.
And I mean,
Add that 0 on there, buddy.
I know there's some really good high school female golfers. I know there's the Utah Tech, the SUU golf team. There's some good local talent around here in golf. So we want to see it. So if you know somebody, tell them to come out to Coral Canyon this Friday starting at 3 o'clock. We'd love to see more women out there at this year's event. So that's what's going on this weekend. We'll be getting the grid ready Thursday night. We'll be hitting bombs 3 o'clock on Friday. We got room for a couple more teams in the scramble Saturday morning. It's a 7 a.m. shotgun, lunch included, just $100 a player to benefit the Desert Hills boys golf team. This will get them bags and uniforms and shirts and hats and swag for the year, for the upcoming season,
Right.
which starts in the fall.
Goes towards senior gifts and all of that stuff for senior night, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a really good thing. So come out, get some raffles. We'll have some good raffle prizes, and we're still taking some donations and wrapping that up this week. But we've got already a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, Bucks Ace Hardware is hooking us up with a nice prize you're going to love. We got a T-Box donated, a Titleist driver that you're going to have a chance to win. We got some really good prizes. You can come out and win some Angelica's Mexican Grill gift certificates in the accuracy zone, and then our friends at Wingnuts are back in the hot zone. So inside of our long drive grid and our Roberts Insurance closest to, if you hit it close enough or straight enough, you can actually win your entry fee back and gift certificates.
Look at that.
So we make it very affordable for you, and we're always hooking you up with prizes. Jim with the Rev Tour's got some cool swag we're going to be giving away, doing some contests with the brand new golf tour in town. Summer League starts today. So this is week 1. You got a whole week. So if you haven't got signed up for the Rev Golf Tour, encourage you to check it out. Go to the RevSTG.com, therevstg.com. Get signed up. Use promo code DAD50, D-A-D, DAD75.
Oh, nice.
And you'll get $75 off your yearly tour membership fee, which will take that down to, I don't know, $224 or something.
Yeah.
So I think it's $299 for a year-long membership to be part of the tour and play all these cool courses and win prizes and get to regional qualifiers and national qualifiers if you play good enough. So this is a tour that's in like 53 cities right now. They're a sponsor of our long drive event. Go check out their website, therevstg.com. The other thing, do we have time for this? Tara, how long time?
We've got 30 seconds.
Okay. Clue 1.
Okay. I don't
Clue
know.
1 when we come back.
Okay, you're when we
I was
come
going to
back.
say.
I don't have time. I don't have time for this, Paulie. Don't you worry.
Yes. All right.
I just got clue number 1. This is the $10,000 or the $5,000 main hunt, rock number 1. So somebody today's going to win some cash if they're wearing that summer shirt. It's $10,000. We'll give you the clue when we come back here on a Monday morning on the Fan Sports Network. It's The Drive. What's up, hour 2 on the drive? What's going down? It's a Monday fun day. Glad you're with us here in the Finley Hyundai Studios. And I promised everybody the rock clue. Are you ready?
Yes.
Listen closely.
Excited.
And this is, they're long, but they're not wrong. And we'll try to get some exercise in disguise, some smiles off the radio dials. Want you to get out and have some fun. And here is clue number 1, main rock number 1. Welcome, Summit Rock Hunters. Too old and the new, excited to be around you. Words misspelled or even plain wrong could be a clue or meant to prolong. The Summit Rock tee isn't a hardware when using it fair. Something to help with could find an edge or a 12, 21, 1, 15, 39. Many of these all over this city choose the right one, and you're looking pretty. Coasting to a win could make your chances thin. Not every trail leads to treasure. Most will bring you some pleasure. The 20, 35, 88, 37 or shirt could lead you closer to me, and the right dirt, a shape or box, could lead to Summit's first 10K rocks. Previous year's rocks have been found on the first or second clue. Some hunters never had a chance to get out and lose. In this first clue, there's more than you think or need. Check Summit Rock discussion page for the social feed. Luck to all Summit Rock Hunters. I have no idea.
Nope. Good luck.
Because it's hard because some of the words are misspelled, right? It's hard to translate over the radio. So if you want to go to the Summit Rock Facebook discussion page, you can. The clue has now been posted. We've got it up on. We're going up on our socials, and you can look through it a little bit closer there. The thing that stood out to me is coasting to a win. What do you coast to a win? I mean, you coast to a win to get the $10,000 if you're wearing the Summit shirt.
That's right.
Is it like somewhere you coast down a hill on a trail, maybe?
Maybe. Look at you using your noggin.
The shirt could lead you closer to me, and the right dirt, a shape or box could lead. A shape or box? A shape? So maybe like a signature shape or a box on a trail around town. Nothing's coming to mind.
That's tough.
Yeah. Also, not every trail leads to the treasure. Most will bring you, like the U in
it's
the
not
U.
Y-O-U.
It's Utah University. It's it's the U.
There's no U in Dixie. So don't go to the Dixie Rock.
So don't go to that one.
We'll tell you where not to go.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll send you exactly where you don't have to go.
This has become a St. George tradition. There was so many people out looking for the mini rocks. So today is rock number 1. The last rock will be Saturday, June 27th. That'll be the final rock. So you've got this one, and then the next one, and then the 27th, which is a Saturday, the big finale. So we're rock hunting, baby. Let's go. A clue every hour. Make sure you like our socials. Go on the Facebook Summit Rock discussion page. It's posted at 7 a.m. At the clubs. We read them at 8 a.m. Get out there and have some fun. And we got this up on our socials, or we'll have it momentarily. And good luck. Good luck. Exercise in disguise, as Joe says. And you know what? Coasting to a win. I have no clue what trail or where this is at. If you think the mini rocks are hard, the main rocks are usually harder. But last year, main rock number 1 was found with just one clue. So it has been done before. So somebody might be able to decipher this smarter or more Sherlock Holmes-esque than I.
Yes. A sleuth out there somewhere.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. All right. Good luck with the Summit Rock Hunt. Unfortunately, we only get the one clue every day at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Because we're off the air at 9, and that's when clue number 2 comes out. But you can always check in with our friends over on 99.9 Coney Country. Just a couple jumps up the dial from 99.5 for all our St. George listeners. And again, all the clues, you can find them. And you probably really need to read them with all the spelling.
Yeah.
Because the Summit Rock tee isn't a hard wear when using at fairs. So there's something to do with the rock and the numbers on the shirt. And there's 2 sets of those that you have to figure out, which could give you maybe some, I don't know if it's longitude, latitude, or just, I'm not sure exactly how you tie that in. But again, somebody smarter than me. I've been in one of those mystery rooms once.
You didn't get out.
Mystery room or escape room?
Escape room.
Yeah.
Mystery escape room.
Mystery room. I like that.
Whatever they're called.
Yes.
Have you been in one?
Yes.
Did you get out?
Yes.
How long did it take you?
Like
it was
20
a
minutes.
While. Took me a while.
Oh, really?
Oh, you got out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Jeez.
It was like a waste of money.
Okay.
Really? Because I was in there like over an hour. We could not figure out how to get out.
Okay.
And one thing leads to the next, and the next, and the next, and finally, I had this. It was like a work trip with coworkers, and we were doing this for just I don't know,
Team
bonding,
camaraderie,
trust falls, the escape room.
And I think ultimately what happened was I had another meeting I had to get to, and I had to get out of there. I had to go.
Oh, really?
And I didn't know how to get out of the room. And finally,
he called 911.
There is like a camera; they can see you and watch you. And finally, And finally, I'm like waving the white flag, like I gotta go. Like I'm
oh my gosh!
And so finally, I think I just found like the side hidden exit and got out of the room. Yeah, it took you 20 minutes.
Yeah,
What'd you go to the 5-year-old mystery escape room?
Maybe.
Yeah, you went to the elementary school escape
I guess.
room or something. His was like college level or something. It must have been tough.
Yeah.
What was it that you were trying to solve that had you hung
I
up?
don't even. This is 10, 12 years ago when they first came out. I don't even remember the
They
specifics.
had one I did in
It was
St.
here in
George.
town.
Yeah, I did
It was
that
the one down kind of by Binge's and Ancestor Square. It was right over there.
Okay.
That was where they used to have one.
All
and
right.
that's the one I went to.
The one I went to was right in front of Vasa. It was like right there by that gym. They had another escape
Over
room.
by the Red Cliffs Mall?
Yeah, but it's since gone out. But
Yeah.
I did try that one, and it took me about a half hour, 45 minutes to get out.
Say it only took you 10 minutes longer.
Yeah,
They're not
10
that bad.
minutes is big. That's
Yeah.
big in the escape room world. You're on a clock sometimes. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we found out something new today. You're the worst of the three of us at escape rooms.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the headlines. Shall we?
Yes.
Over the weekend, of course, last Friday, Spurs find themselves in an 0-2 hole going to Game 3 tonight.
Yeah.
The watch party outside Madison Square Garden has been canceled by city's Department of Permits or something. I mean, I'm sure there's the Secret Service because Trump is coming, but Trump's camp is saying, hey, we don't have anything to do with them canceling the watch parties outside of the arena, where thousands were expected. Like the Brooklyn Bowl and some of the watch parties have been sold out as of yesterday morning. Yeah. So, like, if you're not already going to watch party, you're probably going to have to watch it at home or find a restaurant. I mean, it's going to be absolutely bonkers in New York City.
I would even
tonight.
think the bars and restaurants
packed.
are going to charge a
gonna be
cover.
packed,
Try and charge a cover for something like this because they know there's going to be so much demand.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a bar seat, that'd be awesome.
Well, and that's the problem. You're not turning tables.
Yeah, they're just sitting there the whole time.
You're watching for 3 hours straight. These NBA Finals games with the amount of commercial loads and stuff, it's not a two and a half hour. It's a 3 hour ordeal at least, right?
Yes. So they're gonna. I think they got to charge a cover because some people may not order as much food.
I hope the server gets a piece of that because he or she is not turning tables and I mean, they might get a nice high tab or two.
Yeah, get a couple
from
high
camping
tabs.
for three especially drinks and stuff.
Sure.
Where there's some pretty good margins and whatnot. So, okay, so that's going on tonight. Of course, over the weekend, Saturday night, Vegas Golden Knights, Mitch Marner, Hattie, golden goal off the skate of the Canes that goes ricocheting past the goalie. Kind of an embarrassing goal to give up for the Canes in double overtime.
Falls in that category of puck luck, and it happened twice. The second goal by Marner was off a skate as well. So the puck luck was definitely
The first one was off of the stick of Walker. Walker should have gotten credited with that one.
Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's the one I'm talking about. I thought it was a second goal that was off
Was
the
it the
stick or
second goal?
skate or something like that.
Canes trailing 2-1. Game 4 will be tomorrow night down at the Fortress. 2 days off rest after a double overtime thriller, probably much needed for both these teams.
I would agree.
You've also got Nelly Korda winning the coveted U.S. Women's Open.
Yes.
From over the weekend. Did you see the putt? I think it was on 17. She's already having her typical dominant season. She gets her first U.S. Women's Open title. It was the 18th hole at Riviera, the one that it was a 2.5, 3-footer. It caught the left edge, turned all the way around.
No, it's
the
on
hole.
the top.
And the gallery was like, oh, is it going to go in? And then it falls. And then she puts her hands up over her mouth and starts laughing. And she starts laughing.
So it's we got the close up of the ball too, but
yeah. Yep. If you didn't see it live, it's out there. But you can definitely see this ball almost do a 360 around the cup. What is that? About a 2.5 footer?
Yeah.
1, 2, 2, and about a 20-inch putt. I mean, she pulls it.
yeah, gets a lucky roll.
Yeah, I'd be happy with
Wins
that.
by 1. With that putt going in, wins by 1.
All right.
The 81st edition of our U.S. Women's Open.
We got a close up on the ball to see exactly how it looked.
Yeah, look at that.
It definitely makes its way all the way around.
Trying gravity.
That's a rim job.
She holds off Charlie Hole. Charlie Hole.
Is she the one that smokes the cigarettes?
I think she's reportedly
She quit? Oh, okay.
She was at the Black Desert tournament.
Yeah, I remember, or the Copper Rock one too. Was she on the Epson years ago? I thought
don't
she
know.
was. I thought I've seen a tournament where she was.
She could have. I mean, she was at Black Desert. You were there with me.
That's right. Maybe
So
that
I don't
was
know. I don't remember the Epson stuff.
Okay.
But Nelly Korda, 27 years old. She's already got her 4th major in her career. Shot a steady little 2 under 69 in the final round. But that second putt on 18, woo, almost a spin out. That would have forced a 3-way playoff with Gabby Lopez and Charlie Hull if she would have not had that putt drop. So that's how big that putt was. She finishes 8 under, and tears streaming down her face there as it was a windy finale down at Pacific Palisades. Nothing like a Nelly Korda major win. She does it again. And, LeBron was tweeting at her. Korda told the Golf Channel Tiger Woods reached out to her multiple times ahead of the final round to tell her to finish it off today. So Tiger's maybe one of the steps in the 12-step is giving compliments with
Maybe.
his recovery.
Might be.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tiger handing out compliments to
I
Nelly
like
Korda.
compliments. Yeah.
Yeah. 2.5 million winners share for Nelly too.
Nice.
Women's sports, the purses are getting. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been complaining that over the years. But in golf, there was an open record, U.S. Open record, $12.5 million purse. That's what the field was playing for. It was $12.5 million. So, congrats to Nelly Korda.
Yeah.
She's only 27. She's at the top of her game.
I got a update on the ticket prices for tonight at MSG, a much talked about
Are they going
topic.
up or down?
Darren Ravel tweeted on Saturday, by the time of Game 3, the get-in price to Madison Square Garden will be lower than half the price it is now, $10,000. In his new tweet 2 hours ago, get-in price for tonight's Game 3 is $4,450, expected to drop a bit more, slightly above $3,000. To those who think it goes lower, aren't getting in. Last-minute value buys will be negated by Trump's security. So, $4,450 is the get-in right now. He expects it to drop to about $3,000.
Yeah, and it was as high as 8,000 over the weekend.
He had it at 10 was where it peaked at. That's where it peaked at.
I don't know. I was just going off what Josh Hart was saying.
Yeah.
7,000-8,000.
Yeah.
I know. Last Friday you said the get in price was 8,100, I believe.
Yeah, it went to 10
on Friday night or Saturday morning.
Yes.
Everybody trying to make weekend plans to see if they can stay in New York through Monday. You got to ignore the extracurricular with Trump, with the no watch party, with the ticket prices. I mean, how do the Knicks just stay focused on a basketball game right now?
Yeah.
And the pressure, clearly, I think, on the Spurs here. You're down 2-0. The Knicks kind of have some house money. They can play loose and go have some fun tonight and just soak up the environment, if you will.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be one of the best.
Not that they won't have nerves. I'm not saying that.
It's a finals game. But still, I think the environment will be something we haven't seen in New York basketball in a long time.
For sure. All right. Any other headlines? Anything else you want to add?
Nothing really that comes to mind.
Denny Hamlin won in NASCAR over the weekend. The only NFL news is Jacoby Brissett is going to report for Cardinals minicamp, we're hearing. They weren't sure on that. It looks like he is going to report. There's not anything else that's huge or pressing. World Cup does start this week. Worth noting.
Nice.
I think a lot of games starting on not a lot, but there's 17 straight days of games starting on Thursday. And so you're going to be watching a lot of soccer. And our U.S. men's national team is gaining some traction. I was mad at them for not putting Diego Luna on the roster because I want to see Diego play, which would have made it fun to have Real Salt Lake represented on our team for the World Cup on home soil. So in where they'd used him in marketing materials and stuff, I was a little disappointed with that. But it actually looked pretty good. I know they lost the other friendly they had the other day, but they actually played pretty good.
Yeah.
What was it, Germany, I believe? So we'll see. Their group play is not a loaded group.
No.
And they should be able to, you would think, at least get out of group play. That would be the goal, right? Anything less than that's pretty disappointing for the Americans.
Yeah, the teams in their group. I'm taking a look here. Paraguay, Australia, Turkey, some of the teams. I don't know if that's all of them.
It's all of them. There's 4.
Oh, there's 4. Okay,
Yep.
so U.S., Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey.
Yep.
Should make it out of that group.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. You would hope.
Yeah, but I don't know much about. I know Australia. Soccer's not huge there. Turkey, it could be. Paraguay, maybe, but
Paraguay, it is.
it is
Yeah.
okay. So maybe the U.S. Up against it a little against Paraguay, but Australia and Turkey, I think they should handle. That's just what I think.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll get to a couple stories, and then, hey, stay tuned. Dan Duva, the Sicilian soundbite, going to drop by here in less than 15 minutes as well. It's The Drive. Show today brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course, home to our Utah State Long Drive. This Friday, qualifying in all 10 divisions, the Roberts Insurance Shootout, the We Win Injury Law Putting Contest starts at 3 o'clock on hole number 10 at Coral Canyon. We will hope to see you there. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive. Good to have you in on a Monday Fun Day, as I like to say, in the STG. One of the other headlines I didn't mention, JT Poston was the winner on the PGA Tour. We mentioned Nelly Korda winning the U.S. Women's Open. And, you know, JT Poston was going to have to go through golf's longest day if he was going to, play Father's Day weekend in the U.S. Open. And now with his win, he doesn't have to worry about that. He is into the U.S. Open. He is into the Open Championship as well with the win. So Scheffler's three-peat bid at the Memorial falls short. He was going for 3 of Jack's tournament wins consecutively, and he comes up a little bit short. By the way, Tony Finau finished 29th at the Memorial over the weekend. And again, in Tony fashion, decent first round, 70. Then 74, 73, 72. The weather was not great, windy. Scotty finished T12th. He was 4 under par. So JT Poston and Ryan Gerard went to a playoff. JT Poston wins the playoff at 12 under par. Wyndham Clark is playing great right now. He finishes solo third at 11 under par. And Tommy Ladd's starting to lurk on some leaderboards again. Him and Sam Burns were in that group T4 at 10 under par in Jack's tournament at the Memorial. You didn't watch any golf over the weekend, did you?
No.
No. Dan Duva coming up in just a minute. You got any questions on tap for Mr. Dan Duva? I'm excited to have Dan today.
Yeah, me too.
Dan is a familiar voice on our show. Started having him on in the inaugural season when I was hosting the afternoon drive. Previous stops in my radio career, and we've kept in touch. We've only had him on once a couple weeks ago this year.
Yeah.
We kind of gave him a break this year. He's been busy, but now we've ramped up the playoffs. We had him on during the Avalanche series, and now he's gracious enough on an off day Monday today with no game tonight to preview Game 4 tomorrow night and talk about the series so far. Are you buying the hype that everybody said this is the greatest Stanley Cup ever so far? I mean, it's only 3 games, so you can't say it's the greatest ever. We've only played 3 games. But are you buying the statement that this is trending to be the greatest Stanley Cup ever?
I think it is trending in that area. I can't remember all the ones I've watched. Obviously, I feel like I've seen some amazing Stanley Cup finals in the past, but this one is living up to the hype for sure. I mean, it's about as even as it can be. You got a 2 overtime game and 2 huge comebacks. I mean, it was amazing, the 3 games we've seen thus far. So I'm going to say that this is trending towards being a top 3, top 5 all-time series.
What would make this better? What would make it the best all time? Does it just have to go 7?
Probably.
And does it have to go to overtime in Game 7?
I don't think that a 6-game series can be considered the best series of all time. That's just me.
I mean, these first 3 games have had comeback wins, lots of goal scoring, good goaltending play in between lots of goal scoring, hat tricks, overtime, double over. I don't know what else you could ask for.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff, but recency effect kind of plays in, recency bias. I mean, we're not taking the whole scope of the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, there's been a lot of good finals. I think that sometimes people in the moment get caught saying this is the best one we've ever seen, not remembering what we've seen in the past. So.
A lot of people consider the 1987 Oilers-Flyers series number 1. The
Blackhawks and Flyers just in the early 2010s was a crazy overtime Game 7 game-winning goal from the Blackhawks. That was a great series that I can just think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's been some really good finals.
Because Gretzky was with the Oilers in 87, a lot of people, talk about that series. Messier and the Rangers in 94 when they played the Canucks, Mark Messier. Crosby's Penguins back
Against
in
the Red
09.
Wings.
Yeah.
Against the Red Wings.
Yeah. That was a great series, too.
Yeah. Bruins Canucks had a war in 2011. For pure hockey quality, a lot of people think it's the 09 Penguins Red Wings.
Red Wings, yeah. There's a ton of Hall of Famers on both those teams.
But then if you're looking at drama, history, legacy, a lot of people are like, oh, you got to go to 87 or 94 to those other series.
It's fine.
but-
Everyone's got their opinion.
But this start to this series has been undeniably entertainment from start when they drop the puck to finish and it's finally over. Like there has been, I mean, did you feel safe in game 1 when the Knights stole it? No. Did you feel like it was safe in game 3 when they tied it? No. Like you have felt all the emotions. You've had all the feels throughout this series.
Yeah.
Like when it's 4-0, I'm thinking, oh, this is nice. We can go into cruise control a little bit. We got this. In the back of my mind, I never said that out loud. But when you're up 4-0 in the second, you're feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
And then the Canes erase it.
6-0, right?
Yeah, right. And then that lead is gone, and you're just like, and if the Knights don't win that game in double overtime last Saturday night, I'd hate to think what the magnitude of tonight. Now the pressure certainly is still in limbo, but there's a little pressure on the Canes to try to get the split and get back home ice.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
And make it a best of 3.
Yeah. Yep. And then the home ice shifts back to Carolina if they win tomorrow night.
And the Knights have to be thinking, we got to have 3-1 going back to game 5. We got to be up 3-1.
They have to be.
Because then you can play loose and have some fun and maybe steal one. If not, you always got game 6 back at the Fortress. And for Knights fans, you got to be thinking Knights in 6 here. That's what they did with the Mammoth. That's what they did with the Ducks. You got to be thinking Knights. If it goes 7 and you're back in Carolina, anything can happen. And that's a dicey notion.
That is.
Dicey notion. All right, Dan Duva on the other side. We'll talk more with the Sicilian soundbite, the voice of the Vegas Golden Knights on the Knights Radio Network. He's going to join us coming up. He's just finishing a drop and will be joining us momentarily. So excited to have Dan on the drive, and we'll have the interview for you when we come back. Back, everybody. It is The Drive. We are hockey-centric today on the Fan Sports Network, gearing up for Game 4 tomorrow night back in the Fortress down in Las Vegas. And the voice, the Sicilian soundbite, the guy that has called every single Vegas season for the franchise, Dan Tuva, joining us now here on the hotline. Dan, good morning, man. Thanks for joining us on an off day. How's it feel to get a Sunday, Monday off in between Games 3 and 4 as a broadcaster?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, I was hoping to have more time on the couch yesterday than I ended up getting. You sort of, you put off the real rest and relaxation until after the season, and when you know that there's a maximum of 4 more games, you can soak it in. The only thing you don't know is how long any of those individual games might take, because the double overtime game was not anticipated when the Knights led 4-0 after 2 periods.
Right.
Oh my goodness! I was like, okay, I can breathe, I can cruise. We're up 4-0, and then the third happened. As a broadcaster, I mean, you're just calling the action, you're just painting the picture, you're just saying what you're seeing. But that's got to be exhausting by the end of double overtime. And then you start thinking about. And I was listening to Shea Theodore's post game. He's like, I just want to go home. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
And the announcer on TV was finally like letting him go, and he was darting to the locker room. I mean, the players had to be gassed, Dan.
Oh, my goodness, sure. Yeah, I mean, I got a few messages on Sunday morning from friends back east saying, oh, we didn't want to, send you a note too early. You must have been out celebrating. Celebrating? Are you kidding me? I mean, it's it. No, I had some friends visiting, so we got together. Thank goodness it was a 5:00 start Pacific time, so it was still a 4-hour game. It was a 4-hour show. So we got out of T-Mobile Arena about the same time as we would if it had been a regular 7:00 game. But, yeah, Shea Theodore set a franchise record for time on ice, a record that had stood since Game 2 of the first round in 2018.
Wow.
Shea Theodore, had been up on the list anyway, but it was Nate Schmidt who had the record before that in the double overtime win against the Kings. Eric Halla scored in that double overtime game. Brayden McNabb is also on that list, but he established a new career high in time on ice. And wouldn't you know that both of those guys had multi-point games? They both have 5 points in the final, and Shea Theodore scores the overtime winner. And those guys, they earned their pay, especially McNabb, who had gotten a shot in the face early in Game 2 and had over 20 stitches. I mean, poor guy. It looks like he's wearing a Halloween mask, but he's out there. I mean, some of the guys we interviewed, Keegan Colasar, during the game and asked him about McNabb, playing, and Keegan almost got emotional talking about it. So you could tell. I mean, this group is in it.
Dan, wanted to ask you, speaking on McNabb, Coach Torts was said, I heard the players yelling warrior, but he's more than that. Kind of encapsulate what it just took for this guy fresh out of the hospital to even be on the ice in Game 3.
It is astounding. We shouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've joked that he's where's the silver shin pad? Didn't help him block that shot, though. There is one player over the course of the last 9 years with more than 1,400 hits and 1,400 block shots, and his name is Brayden McNabb. No other player in the league has hit 1,400 in both of those categories cumulatively over the last 9 seasons. That's regular season. He's only missed 8 Golden Knights playoff games, and 5 of those were because of COVID, and another one because of suspension. Like he just never misses games. I mean, he did miss some time earlier this year, but he hadn't missed a game in 3 years. He has the Golden Knights Ironman record, and I'm just so impressed with even as he gets into his mid-30s, he doesn't lose anything in what he does. Just the sort of game that he plays, super responsible. Off the ice, he's not the loudest guy, but he's a tremendous communicator. And I just remember a practice in Dallas earlier this year when the team was sort of up and down, and he sort of took control of a drill that was not going as well as it should have. And Brayden McNabb's offense is not the number one thing on his resume, but it was a situation where in this drill the Knights defensemen were trying to get the pucks back and forth at the blue line and then get it toward the net mouth. And it wasn't going well. And he's not the offensive guy, but he was telling people like Noah Hannafin and Rasmus Anderson, at Shea Theodore, let's go, guys. And he's just a consummate leader. He's been with the Golden Knights from the beginning. It's, he's so even keeled. He never seems to have a bad day, even when he gets an 87-mile-an-hour slapper in the face. Now, he was back at the arena before the game ended the other day. He went to the hospital, got stitched up, and still got back to the arena. And I think if there was any surprise, it's that he didn't go right back into the game.
Dan Duva, voice of the VGK, with us live here on the Fan Sports Network. And I want to get to Mitch Marner, but first a personal question, Dan. Experience plus nerves. This is your third Stanley Cup final as the voice of the Knights. What's that experience like for you as a broadcaster now compared to the first one? And I'm just curious, do you get some nerves or butterflies when you're calling games this big and it goes to double overtime?
Well, no more than a regular game, which is to say that every game means something. Every broadcast means something, and whether it's a preseason game, a regular season game, playoff, or Stanley Cup final, it's important to me to do the very best that I can. I don't know how to do anything else. So, in other words, if you're doing the very best work that you can every time you go on the air, why change anything for the Stanley Cup final? You'd only screw it up. So it's exciting, and when it goes to overtime or double overtime, you think only about making sure you stick to your fundamentals, make sure that you're breathing, that you're hydrating, that you're physically capable of continuing on. I've joked a few times that we should get an oxygen tank for the broadcast booth, all that sort of stuff. Because if you change anything, it's not going to go right. And lucky for me and Gary, we've had a lot of these playoff games over the years, and as you said, this is the third Stanley Cup final, and you learn that if you can't enjoy it, number one, the listener won't enjoy it if you're not enjoying it, and number two, this is sports. It's supposed to be fun and exciting and entertaining, and we try to experience that ourselves and then relay that to our listener.
All right. Now, Mitch Marner, thank you. I know that's kind of a personal question, but as a broadcaster, I was just curious if you get up for those games, if you did more prep. So thanks for the behind-the-scenes, pull back the curtain look on that. Try to encapsulate Mitch Marner's Game 3 performance. I mean, some would say he should have had 4 goals or he should have had 5 goals. But, I mean, fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup Finals history.
Oh, my gosh. It's just when you thought – there couldn't be anything more impressive from that guy, leading the postseason in points going into the game. Already had a natural hat trick in the second round against the Ducks, especially for a player who had not gotten to the third round. The Maple Leafs had playoff runs at the time that he was there, but they all came up short. Most of the time they lost in the first round. And, he was critiqued in Toronto for not coming through later in series. Mitch, though he does have 2 hat tricks here in the playoffs, he's not the goal-scoring guy with the Maple Leafs. He's more the playmaker, but people still complain that he didn't have more goals. Well, here he is. He's got he bested Rocket Richard's record from the 50s for the fastest hat trick, and then a 4-point period. That hadn't happened in over 100 years. Before the Stanley Cup was the Stanley Cup as we know it today, a player for the Seattle Metropolitans were playing against the Montreal Canadiens, and Seattle was not in the NHL. They were in the Pacific Coast Hockey Association in 1919. It's the last time somebody had 4 points in a period of a Stanley Cup final game. So, the thing is with Mitch Marner and this team, he does not have to be the guy every night. However, he could be the guy any night. And on several occasions he has been, and it is amazing that, they're up 4-0. He gets a shorthanded penalty shot in the third period. I'm like, oh no, he didn't score. That could be a problem. And of course, the Hurricanes come back and tie the game. But he didn't realize that they had changed goalies, he said, until the last minute. But, it's a right-handed catching goalie who came on in relief, Brandon Bussey. Regardless, Mitch has just been thoroughly impressive, just how he's carried himself. And even when he scored that hat-trick goal, he celebrated, but and I said it on the air at the time, you could see in his face, he realized that there was more work to do.
Absolutely. And Dan, you mentioned Bussey. Frederick Anderson has a nightmarish period, 4 goals allowed. He gets run from the game. And Bussey, the undrafted rookie, comes in and gives him a really nice performance, saves 18 of 19 shots. Really, the only shot that goes in on him is that fluke off the back wall. Describe Bussey's performance, and would you, if you're Rod Brindamore, move to him in Game 4?
It's an interesting question because in the regular season, Bussey, a rookie in the NHL, won 31 out of 39 games that he played. He and Freddie Anderson basically split the year, but Bussey was the much better goaltender in terms of wins and losses. Anderson was just about 500, but as I said, Bussey won 31 out of 39. He was a waiver claim. I mean, he's been in the American Hockey League with the Bruins organization. He signed a free agent deal with the Florida Panthers for the league minimum, but they put him on waivers in October. And he got claimed off of waivers by the Hurricanes here in the beginning of the season. And obviously it was very, very good. And now here into the playoffs, Rod Brindamore goes with the veteran. Freddie Anderson has played over 100 playoff games now in his career. But, he's in his mid-30s now. I mean, he's not a spring chicken. He's more technically sound than is Bussey, but Bussey's fresher. Until he came on in relief the other day, he had not played in the game since April 7th. So I think sort of what you got is, what you might have predicted, which is really impressive play. He's fresh, he's sharp, but he's also a rookie, and you give up a goal that Freddie Anderson probably would not have let up. Freddie Anderson would never overcommit, get out of the crease, and then have the puck go off the back of him and into a goal. But, he's fresher. There's 2 days in between games. Maybe Anderson, needed that little breather. I'm not sure. It's a tough call. If it were me, I'd probably go with Bussey. But if I had to guess, Rod Brindamore has been so loyal to Freddie Anderson. If you go away from him now, you can't go back almost. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Anderson.
But isn't it sometimes, it's not always about who was the mainstay during the regular season, and you even alluded to that Bussey was the better goaltender in the regular season. Isn't it sometimes just about having that hot goalie, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, I wonder if Bussey can be trusted. If I'm the other guys in that dressing room, I'm looking around and Freddie Anderson's agent was Claude Lemieux, who we know just passed away, and how all the players rallied around Freddie Anderson, who's been so good in the postseason. How would it affect the rest of the room if they went away from Freddie Anderson? It might look like a move of desperation on the part of their coach to go to the rookie, which is not to say it's the wrong decision. I'm just trying to get into the mind of the players there and the staff there to go away from the guy that's gotten you to this point. On the Vegas side, I don't think you go away from Carter Hart, even though he's given up 4 goals in 3 games. Yeah. I'd be shocked if there was any change there, too. So we'll find out eventually, but it looks like the Hurricanes haven't made a decision quite yet.
Yeah.
Dan?
And to be fair, that one goal was off of Walker, his own team's stick. So that one's kind of hard to defend, the first Marner goal.
Dan Duva, the voice of the Vegas Golden Knights. We were talking before you came on the air, Dan, a little bit about where this series is trending towards as far as all-time Stanley Cup finals. A lot of people are starting to say the first 3 games have been so incredible. This could be maybe the greatest Stanley Cup final. When you hear people starting to talk about it after just 3 games, are you like, hold the phone, or are you actually buying that? You're right in the middle of it. You're broadcasting these games. What's your take on that conversation piece?
Yeah, and it also, depends on what your definition of greatest might be, because, in terms of entertainment value, it is, no lead is safe. I mean, there have been multi-goal leads in each game, and they all disappeared. Knights are down by 2, but win by a goal in game 1. Knights are up by 2 in game 2 and end up losing in overtime. Knights are up by 4 in game 3, and they have to survive a 4-goal pushback and win in double overtime 5-4. So from that standpoint, we mentioned earlier some of the historical marks. A record book is being rewritten from a league standpoint, from a team standpoint. There's all sorts of stuff. So like that, there's all that intrigue. Indeed, it's 3 games. Somebody's got to win 4. So whether it takes 2 more games or 4 more games, we'll see. I'm not sure. It's so hard because the Stanley Cup has been around for 100 years. Yeah. And while there's living memory of the last couple of decades for sure, and you go back even there's still the players around from the Stanley Cups in the 60s and 70s, but none of us were watching the Stanley Cup final in the 1930s, right?
Right.
So it's hard to say definitively that it is or is not. But in terms of modern hockey and what's happened through 3 games and lead changes, It has been among the most entertaining Stanley Cup finals through the first 3 games in my memory.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking 87, Gretzky, Mark Messier, Rangers 94. We're talking about the Penguins and Red Wings in 09. Some of the games that, are Stanley Cup finals that have been well noted as being great and hotly contested. But this series has had it all. What has impressed you the most about each team's ability to come back in this series? And we've only played 3 games so far.
Well, both teams are extremely well coached. They're deep. The rosters have been constructed in such a way that playoff hockey meets with their identity. So when you have 2 teams that are so good, we shouldn't be surprised very much when there's back and forth. Whichever team is down can throttle up the urgency. And as much as you'd like to be able to tamp back on the more urgent team when you've got a lead, it's just not human nature. The team can ratchet up the urgency. If you've got a lead, it's hard to maintain, that level of urgency if you've got a 4-goal lead. So that's just how good these teams are. The rosters are built that way. I guess we were a little bit surprised that there was not more of a pushback from the Colorado Avalanche in the third round, the Western Conference Final, because, the Knights, did a lot of similar stuff, but they also did not allow Colorado to come back and tie games or take leads in the way that Carolina has. So it is exciting. It is not surprising, really, to me that these teams have gone back and forth. I think that on the whole, you'd say that the Golden Knights have been the better team, but it's close. And, that doesn't mean that they're going to go on to win the series. There's 2 more games to go. And the way it's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back and forth through 7, but it also wouldn't surprise me if, Carolina wins the next 3 or Vegas wins the next 2. That's just how good these teams are.
Wow. Well put. Dan Duva, voice of the Vegas Golden Knights. Real quickly, Dan, before we got to let you go, who's maybe the biggest X factor in your eyes for the Knights the rest of the way?
Ooh, great question. Well, it's hard not to go with Shea Theodore because he has, become the guy on the Knights blue line. I mentioned the time on ice and, the scoring. He's got 5 points, the overtime goal. You go Theodore, Marner, Eichel are probably the 3 guys. And, I'm kind of putting Carter Hart off to the side as a goaltender, but I guess it'd be that 3, the X factors, Theodore, Marner, Eichel in that order.
I love it. Dan Duva. Dan, enjoy listening to you. Thanks for being gracious enough to join us up here. A lot of hockey fans up here, and obviously have a great call in Game 4, and can't wait to have you on again, maybe wrapping up the Cup once it's all said and done.
Sounds good. Thanks very much.
All right, Dan Duva, everybody. Day 1 broadcaster with the Vegas Golden Knights calling his 3rd Stanley Cup Finals. And I wish we had more time with Dan there. We could have gotten the Conn Smythe race, but really Mitch Marner's got the lead in that. I think it's pretty obvious out of the hat trick right now. And Paulie, I thought your goal about how concerned Carolina is about the goaltending situation, that's a tough decision that has to be made some point, probably by tomorrow morning at morning skate at the latest, right?
Probably got to be made tomorrow morning while they're doing their line rushes for practice. So, I think we'll find out soon. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Dan said he'd go with Bussy, though.
Do we have Dan's call of the hat trick, Tara?
We do.
Pull that up from the other night. This gives you a taste. Dan, when you can tell he's such a storyteller, and we love having him on the show.
Yeah.
And he knows so much. I mean, he knows about this rookie goalie, and he's at the Bruins organization. He's a waiver wire. I mean, he's so knowledgeable when it comes to his art and his craft. If you've never heard Dan Duva and you were hearing him for the first time on the show, this is his call Saturday night. Mitch Marner, fastest hat trick ever in Stanley Cup Finals history.
This is the compilation. Wait.
Oh, is this the comp?
Yeah,
I think
let me
got
go.
the compilation too.
You do too?
Well, that's
okay.
That's okay.
That's fine. Let's have a little compilation.
All right, here we go.
This one will count. William Karlsson breaking in. He shoots. Fanned out. It might have been stick check. Now a centering pass. Score!
Yeah, Walker.
Off of a Carolina defenseman. It was Walker trying to play it away from his net mount, but he deflected it into his own goal, and Mitch Marner will get credit for the second Golden Knights goal in half a minute. William Karlsson generated the play and ultimately responsible for this one getting to Marner.
I love it.
And going into the goal on
Dan's
Sean
good.
Walker.
He is so good.
Gods take a
And Lawless, the energy he brings on the broadcast.
That's right. Lawless. I love him.
A lot of fun. We can let it roll. We'll save our game 4 picks for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How mad do you think Freddie Anderson was at Walker, though, after that one? It's like, I have a hard enough time defending against the Knights. I got to defend against you, too?
That's right. 6 on 5.
Yeah, right?
That was the third. That was the sweet one right there.
Yeah,
Can
that
you
was
go
a great
back just
one.
a second, pop that up
Yep.
for our listeners? Just right here. Look at this. Oh, this is the PK shot.
Oh, that was the penalty kill. Hang
And
on.
then coming up is the next one. Just let it roll.
Anderson doing his best to hold his ground, and did so. Now it's a steal. McNabb to Marner again. Cuts in front.
Oh,
He
that
scores!
back. Yeah, that was such a good one.
Got to be a top 5 playoff goal.
Oh, yeah.
With Hurdle.
That was a sick goal.
My goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Marner on a breakaway. Stopped by the side.
That was his second goal of the night. But that was the prettiest goal.
That was. Yeah.
That one was beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Dan Duva.
He does a great job.
I love having Dan on the show. And he's one of the best in the business. He's a pro's pro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That conversation about top Stanley Cup, we'll put a pin in that
Yeah.
because I know we're running out of time, but I want to circle back to that when the Stanley Cup Finals is over because I think that could be another conversation piece. All right. Today in sports, you got some more college baseball.
Do you?
Yeah, I think there's one.
Oh, the game
There's
threes.
one game 3
Yes.
or 2 game 3s today, so that's
Check
going to be
that.
thrilling.
Yeah.
You got the game tonight in Madison Square Garden. I can't wait to see how crazy it is at the Garden
Yeah.
tonight.
You got St. John's, Alabama, Oklahoma, Kansas, Alabama. Oh, no. Oh,
Hey,
just
the Johnnies.
St. John's and Alabama, Oklahoma, Kansas.
2
Both
games.
playing game threes.
Yep. All right. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see if the Spurs can get back into the series or if the Knicks have a stranglehold on it. Thanks to Dan Duva, and thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good one.